Hi, everybody, and welcome to my space. I'm going to start off with this little video. Hi again, and welcome to my space. I hope you are all having a beautiful evening. If you are here live, I would love for you to say hello and to let us know where you're from. I'm sorry that it's a little bit dark. Let's see if I can get it a little bit lighter. Oh, that's good. That's better. I'm outside because my house is about to get noisy. So, you gotta pivot. That's what we're learning in 2021, right? We gotta pivot. So hopefully there's not gonna be a lot of noise out here. Oh, I don't know where I can go where it's not noisy. Anyway, we're gonna just go with the flow and do our best. But welcome to episode 5 of Practicality and Magic. Tonight we are doing several things. Oh, hi Karen, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're talking all about energy. Energy is so important. It's so essential for us to be aware of it, to understand it, and to know how to manage it. Not only, manage other people's and manage ours. And so we're talking about that. And then my wonderful, beautiful friend Sally Boyd is going to be joining us, talking to us about the astro energy of this fall season and what's coming for us. And I think we're going to talk about the different aspects of the different signs and all of that. So let's get started. All right. So energy, very simply put, the scientific definition of energy is that energy is the ability to be active, right? So it's all about the ability to be in action, to be in movement. That's the scientific definition of it. The spiritual definition is all about it being a life force, right? It's the energy that creates the life force within all living things. That's animals, that's humans, that's plants. And spiritually, we think about energy as being everywhere. It fills up all the space, right? There is energy in all the space. There really is no empty space. Even though we may not perceive it as being full, it is. And it's important that we understand those basic concepts of energy. It's very, very important. Einstein said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Match the reality you want, and you cannot help but get it. And you cannot help but get that reality. There can be no other way. So I love that because, we look to Einstein for so many scientific things. Like he created so many, truths in science for us. And I love that he was so dedicated to, energy. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. And we know that to be true, right? We know that. We know that that's true in our lives, in things that we do, and repeating patterns, right? We understand that we're repeating them because we are still in the state of mind believing that we are that person that created that reality, right? So, in the past, we're still that person today, unless we make a very clear determination to change things and to be different. It won't be. It just will be. So, the important thing about energy, one of the important things about energy to me is that you can't see it, right? You cannot always see energy. We can train ourselves to see auras. We can train ourselves to see spiritual, the spiritual realm, but we can't always see it. And to the naked eye, it isn't necessarily present, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Hi, Jeff. Welcome. I loved this explanation that I heard from John Edward one time about energy. And he said that, because people often think that, you can't, like, psychicness is not real, right? You can't see it, therefore it doesn't exist. And he, uses the example of a TV. When those of us that are old enough that we had TVs without a remote control, we knew that the only way that you could change a channel was to get up from your couch or chair, walk over, change a channel, walk back. Somebody said one day there is going to be a little box that you hold in your hand and you will be able to change a channel from that box. Nobody ever would have believed it, right? Nobody ever would have believed it. And they didn't believe it until it happened. And now, we sit down with our remote controls and we don't even give it a second thought. We just know that we are going to press a button and the channel will change, or we'll put some numbers in, or whatever it is, right? They're so smart now. We can just talk right into them and they do what we need. But we couldn't imagine that. Now we just take it for granted. But it's the same thing with energy. And even those of us that are spiritual and know that there's energy everywhere, we don't always we don't always remember it or bring it into our realm or work with it in the way that we want to. But we've really got to be aware of our energy and other people's energy and of our frequency. Okay, because within that realm of energy, there's also a realm of frequency. Okay. Oh, hi, Denise. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So when we're talking about energy, we have to be aware of how porous our energy field is, because it is incredibly porous. So, this is kind of energy 101. I know that all of you on here know this, but I just want to go over it again because I think it's worthy of a reminder. We need to remember this from time to time because we can get so deep into our spiritual realm and what we're doing that we forget the simple things, right? So our energy field is about arm's length out from our body all around us. It goes above our head, all the way below our feet. And it's a very porous, it's like a sponge. And it's big. I mean, that's a big space. And so if you think about all day long, as you're moving throughout your day, as you're using your energy, right? And you're moving through life throughout your day and you're going places and you're seeing people, or not even necessarily engaging with them, with your words, but you are engaging with them because that big energy field is moving all around you and it's bumping up with everybody else's energy. Okay. And the thing that we need to be reminded of is that it's porous. So, like a sponge, when a sponge is dry and you put it in water, it sucks everything up, right? That's our energy field. So it sucks it all up, and it sucks energy up from other people and other things and, other beings, even, right? It's not just humans. We can take energy on from animals. We can take energy on from plants. We can take energy on from spirits. It's any energy that we come in contact with, we have the ability to take that on. So what we want to do, and like one last little thing I want to say is we're like a vacuum. When our energy field is porous and it's not filled in, we're like a little vacuum going around sucking everything up and in there, right? And then we wonder why we're exhausted and we wonder why we have no energy. And the thing that I have noticed with myself, I'm an empath. I believe everybody is an empath, just to different degrees. Okay, so it's like a radio dial, like those old-fashioned, I'm really dating myself here. First I'm talking about TVs with no remotes, and now I'm talking about the radio dials, like the AM radios, where you had to dial it in. And so we're all on the dial. Some of us are just more dialed in than others. So we want to be really aware of where we're at, and know that we're all empaths. We all have a porous boundary, whether we understand that or not. We do. And we're all sensitive. We just are. We're human. We're sensitive. So, as you're going around, you want to be really careful and you want to make sure that you protect your energy field. right? So just like that dry sponge that you put into water and it soaks it all up and it fills in all those holes, it can only take on so much water, then it's done, right? No more. That's how we are. We can only take on so much, and we need to protect ourselves. And it's important to protect ourselves for a few reasons. Number one, so that you don't take on something that you don't want to take on, that you're not taking on energy that you do not want. Okay. That's the first thing. But it's also very important so that you do not spread your energy all around either. Okay. Now, this is something that we do and we don't really think about it, but we have a frequency and we have an energy, and we don't want that energy to be flowing off of us to, attach to everybody else. We want to affect the energy. If our vibe is high and our frequency is high, which we hope it is most of the time, then we want to affect people in that way, in a positive way, because like attracts like, right? But we don't want to be siphoning our energy into other people. Okay. We don't want to be siphoning our energy from our energy field into somebody else's energy field that's porous, that they haven't, protected and filled in, right? So we want to be very careful and conscious of that. We want to be mindful energy workers and energy people, right? We don't want to go around just, spreading our energy everywhere willy nilly. And it's very similar, like, when years ago, when, we used to cough or sneeze or whatever, we just coughed or sneezed. And now it's like in the elbow, right? We cough and sneeze in the elbow. We want to be aware of the same thing with our energy. We don't want it just going everywhere. We don't want it siphoning out, leaking out of us, draining us, and then filling up somebody else. That doesn't serve anybody, right? That's not good for anybody. So let's see what Karen says here. I love comments. Thank you. And if you guys have comments, please bring them. I love them. And if you have questions, let me have them. In the last couple of years, I have learned so much about how to hold on to positive energy. Like attracts like. Exactly, Karen. Thank you. And it is important that we know how to do that, right? So we want to fill in that boundary so that we keep ours, everybody else keeps theirs, right? And then we're all happy. We all feel good. So there's a few ways that you can do this. First of all, I always like to clean my energy field. Oh, I want to go back to one thing with taking on the energy. As empaths, when we take on energy, what I find for myself and people I work with, and I think this is pretty true for everybody, we take on other people's energy and stuff, their junk or whatever they've got that we take on. It lands in our heart center and it feels heavy. And that's why we feel so fatigued and so weighed down. It's also why it makes it so hard for us to sometimes clean up our junk, do our shadow work, so to speak, clean out those emotional closets, because we don't know what's ours and what's not ours, right? And when we've taken on stuff from other people, it gets all mixed up in there. It's not like we have one compartment that says our energy, our feelings, our emotions, our patterns, and another one that says everyone else's. It's just all in there, all enmeshed and combined and swirling around. And so when we go to work on something, we might be really sad or really upset about something and we don't know why. And we can't fix it because it isn't ours, right? So it's just going to stay there. But that's why we want to be really careful about energy, taking it on, keeping ours to us. So you want to fill in those boundaries. So there are some ways that I love to do this. I love sage to do that. I love Palo Santo to do that. I love essential oils. I love salt. Those are all great cleaners. I have a blend called Protect, which I absolutely love. I created this blend for me, for my empath tendencies, and to help me because I needed something that would, number one, go in deeply into my heart center and clean out what isn't mine, right? And then I needed it to have a second really important job, and that is to provide a protective bubble around me so that I keep mine and they keep theirs. Okay, so it's protection and it's called Protect. It's beautiful. It's for the heart. That blend single handedly got me through a horrible time in November of 2014. My mom passed, and It was horrible because when my dad passed in 2010, in July of 2010, we didn't know that my mom had severe dementia. My dad, not kind of, he hid it from us. He hid it really well. He protected her and kept it from us. And so when he passed, we found out right away that she had severe dementia, and she actually came to live with my sister and I. And so there was no time to mourn my dad. So when my mom passed, I knew, oh boy, this is going to be tricky because I'm mourning two parents. And Protect got me through it so beautifully. I mourned and I mourned deeply, but it never felt overwhelming. It never felt unmanageable. And it also helped me to not take on the grief of my family members, right? Because I had a lot of family that was grieving my mom at the same time. My sisters, my husband, my children, we were all grieving. But it allowed me to keep mine and to keep clean so that I could help them. So if you have any questions about Protect, let me know here or message me, Michelle at michellesnelling.com. I'd love to help you with that. So you want to clean. You want to clean, 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 and then you want to fill it in. So my Protect does that. It's that bubble. But if you don't want that, what I love to do is some type of visualization of creating a bubble and just filling in my energetic space, right? Filling in that etheric body that is so porous and has so many holes and nooks and crannies and crevices that we can suck up all that energy. It's important that we do that and know that. So you really want to be aware of your energy. You want to be aware of others' energies. And then a big part of why this is so important is so that you can know your frequency, right? So Jeff, I want to say, Jeff says, so true. I definitely feel this every day. That you're an empath, Jeff. I hope, is that what you're talking about? I'm sure. And he says, your release oil helps me stay centered and cleanse. Yes. Thank you, Jeff. I love release. I love, love, love release. And it does help us to release two things: what's not ours and what no longer serves, right? We want to be able to release all of it. All of it. So release is a wonderful one that I use all the time. And hi, Tracy. It's okay that you're late. We love you being here. We just appreciate it. So any other questions anybody has, please put them in. I would love to answer them. So let's talk about frequency for a bit. Okay. So everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration, right? That's what, that's part of the energy. And it goes anywhere from really high to really low. Okay. So, like, if we think about it in terms of emotions like joy, elation, gratitude, they vibrate really high, right? Really high, really fast. And then emotions like fear and anger and depression, anxiety, they vibrate low and slow, right? And they're all energy. They're just energy in motion. That's what emotion means. They all want to move, but they move at different vibrations, right? Different levels. And so we want to be aware of the frequency that we're at. So sometimes, and this is the thing to say, I don't like to say like it's a good frequency, it's a bad frequency. I really think if we can get away from defining everything as good and bad, it helps us individuals, right? It helps us to not look at the world so black and white. It helps us to come to that middle space where we're more compassionate for ourselves and others, and we're really coming from our highest space then. So when we have a lower frequency day, it's okay. We just say, yeah, I'm a low frequency day today. I'm not going to be doing a lot. I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to force something. As opposed to, I'm a high frequency day today. I'm going to get so much done. It's going to be awesome. It's important to just know where you are and to allow yourself to be there, to be compassionate and to just be present. Okay. So what? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm going to say, Karen said, yes, I've been using my clear spray a lot. Excellent. Thank you, Karen. My clear spray is for spaces. So it's for rooms, cars. I use it on myself too if I need. I mean, it really does clear clear everything, but I created it with the intention to clear my office or to clear my space where there was stagnant or heavier energy that I didn't want, or even just residual energy. This is what I mean. Not all energy is bad, but we don't want it. So when I was working in the office, I'd go in the office and I could feel the energy of the practitioner that had used the office before me and the clients and my clients in between. So I wanted to clear it. So that's why I created Clear. And it is so good for that. So Jeff says, yes, the attach on your energy is what I feel every day. But as I meditate and stay centered, it helps protect me from sharing my energy or taking other stuff on. Exactly. Thank you, Jeff. All right. So as Karen said earlier, and like attracts like, right? So high frequency attracts high frequency, low frequency attracts low frequency. Einstein also said that everything in life has a vibration, okay? Going along with his information about energy. We control our vibe, okay? And we don't control like other people's vibes as far as saying they're going to be like this or they're not going to be like that, but we do control it in that like attracts like. Okay, so if you're really low vibe and you go into a space and there are some high vibe people, you're going to lower that. They're going to lower to meet you. Whereas if you're with somebody who's low and you're high, they're going to raise to meet you. Okay, so we want to be aware of that. That's how we affect energy, and that's how we affect our energy, other people's energy in general. So, fall. We're in the season of fall, and I have termed it the season of alchemy because we are in this space in time where we need to really work on the art of alchemy and the art of personal alchemy and understanding what it is and understanding how it works. Okay. We can get in some really heavy moods and get in some really heavy spaces with everything that's going on in our world right now, right? It's hard to stay high vibe. But when we really practice being alchemists, it becomes much easier and we understand it a lot more. And my Grown Up Timeout Plus, which is my membership group, we have one each season. I do a seasonal membership. It's all about moving into our own alchemy. It's all about getting comfortable with ourselves as alchemists, which, let's be honest, it's not real comfortable, right? It's not really comfortable to think of ourselves as alchemists. Like, we love alchemy, we love the idea of it, but us being the alchemist, sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect or some space, right? Some space in there, and that's okay. Space is good. So, it is our responsibility, though. It is our responsibility as adult people that have the ability to respond, right? We must know our power and we must understand the magic that we have within us to create, okay? And our power to transform and to transmute. It's all done through our frequency. We are responsible for ourselves, right? We have the ability to choose. This is our responsibility, the ability to choose the life we want, the health that we want, the relationships that we want, the job that we want, all of it. It's our responsibility to create that. And if we don't understand that we're creating that every day, we need to really understand that, because we create through intention all day long, whether those are high vibe intentions or low vibe intentions. But we're doing it all day, every day. We have the ability and the responsibility to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, which is all that alchemy is, right? And it's what we're here for. This is what we are here for at the core. This is our primary purpose, love. That's it. Love is our primary purpose. And love is the highest frequency. Nothing is higher than love. So it can be a challenge as a human, right? We can feel really challenged to not judge, to not get angry, to not lower our frequency. But, the task is not to never feel any of that. The task is not to never be in that space, that low frequency. The task is to feel it, to heal it, and then to move on. right? Not to dwell there, to move from that victim mentality, to move from those old stories, to move to this space of love and light. And I just to move to the space of love. I'm going to leave it right there. Okay, there's lots of tools for us to help us return to love, movement, singing, meditation, journaling, salt, sage, oils, all those things help us. And again, going back to my Grown Up Timeout Plus, I can't speak highly enough of this coming into this. We start on October 10th, okay? And there are so many tools in this season to help you. We condense the season into about 6 weeks. And we've got so many things. There's supportive emails, there's live events if you can't make them. They're recorded so you can have them forever and use them at your will. There's guided meditations that are live. There's Mappy Hour. There's a wrap up. There's a grown up time out that we all gather and use the products, and the pampering kit, which this pampering kit this time is unbelievable. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys that if you guys sign up for my, if you guys sign up using the link that I just posted for my Grown Up Timeout Fall Edition, it's $75. And that includes everything. That includes the 6 weeks of email support. Oh, you also get one-on-one sacred self-serving time with me. You get discounts on everything that I offer. You get the pampering kit. You get so much. But it's really important because we need all the support and the help that we can get. And it's not like we just want to be in one space. We need to find support and love and high vibe frequency as many places as we can. So I would love for you to join me this season in my Grown Up Timeout Plus. And if you join with this link tonight, you will get a special extra product in your pampering kit that I intuitively choose for you. And I'll also tell you why I chose it. Okay. So I would love for you to join me. So sign up, get the bonus intuitive product. And the thing is, I'm a medium. I'm a teacher. I'm a healer. I'm a human. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. I'm all those things, right? I'm here to help us all remember our job as alchemists, to remember our responsibility to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Okay? I'd love for you to join me. And now we get to the really juicy part. Oh, let's see. We've got some things we wanted, some comments. Jeff says, I put release oil on my wrists and cut the bad energetic ties. Yes, by waving my hands over my head a few times. Clears me back to a neutral state. Oh my gosh, Jeff, that is brilliant. I love that. What a great idea. And that is such a great way for us to clear those energetic ties. Thank you for sharing that. I've never done that, but I'm going to now. Thank you for that little insight. Karen says, I really resonate with the idea of being an alchemist. I love that we are talking about this. Thank you, Karen. I do too. And the idea of us as alchemists started coming probably a few months ago, and I knew it was going to be all about fall, because fall is all about change and cleaning up and letting go. And we have to do all of that to be alchemists. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in my Grown Up Timeout Plus, is all that. Letting go, getting more and more comfortable with change, cleaning up the garbage, and really focusing on our vibe. Okay. Eve says, agree. Alchemy has always energized me, yet I know I need to explore what that really is for me. Yes. Thank you, Eve. And I think it's different for all of us. And what I have noticed with myself is my alchemy is different at different times in my life. My alchemy is different now than it was 5 years ago, right? Because I'm growing and evolving. So of course my alchemy is going to grow and evolve, right? And turning the ordinary into extraordinary. Yes. Love. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Yes. I was shown that during a meditation I did years ago because I wanted to know more about alchemy and I just couldn't see how I could go from where I was. It didn't seem possible that I could go from where I was in my human to being the alchemist. And my spiritual team just simply said, it's just turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. That's it. It's so simple. right? It isn't this big, huge thing. It's not like something that's not attainable for all of us. We just have to learn how to do that. Okay, so thank you all so much. And with that, I am going to finally welcome Sally, who has been waiting so patiently in the backstage. And here she is. Yay, Sally. Thank you, Sally.
Hi, I've been listening. I haven't been waiting. I've been listening and enjoying.
Well, thank you.
You
So,
know,
Sally is my beautiful friend. She's an intuitive astrologer. She has activated astrology, and she's also the founder of the Ascension School of Spirituality, which is this beautiful organization that is really a wonderful tool and a wonderful place to go to get guidance, to get insight, to get help. So, Sally, thank you for being here.
thank you for inviting me. I am so excited. I love this subject because I am talking to one of my favorite alchemists. And your
Thank you,
group, I'm
Sally.
sure, has already learned so much just by being in your high frequency.
Well, I appreciate that, Sally.
Yes, I
Thank
remember when
you.
I first met you, and you were
Oh,
talking about release. And it was so strange because I had just been through the loss of my mother and everyone in my family. And when I met you, you looked at me and you said, you need to have release and you need to have protection. And that's exactly what I did. And I really believe and still use those products along with several other of your products. And I'm just faithful to them. I'm
well,
faithful to what you produce because it's always the top quality, and you tell me how to use them, basically. So I love
yeah.
that.
Thank you, Sally.
Yeah, absolutely. So our
So I'm
topic,
going to take
yeah,
just
go
a
ahead.
moment before I just want to, all of us, got my beautiful little Tibetan singing bowl here. And I hope this, you guys can hear this, but I just want us to close our eyes and connect to the vibration within us that this bowl will bring forth, which is our alchemy. Okay, that's our alchemy. It's nothing more than that. We don't need to make it harder. So let's just take a moment and connect. And now the sound of the bowl is gone, but your vibration is not. So I want you to just put your hands to your heart and just feel yourself. Feel that frequency that you connected to. Just take mental note of it. And again, remind yourself that this is your love. This is your alchemy. It's that simple. Okay. Whew, thank you. All right. And now let's get to the fun. All right,
It's
Sally.
all been fun. I want to say hi to my girl Dana Hauser out there
Yes.
because she's just. Actually, I recognize a lot of hi everyone. It's really great that you're joining
Hi,
Michelle, and
Dana.
such a cool thing she's got
Yes.
going on. This is exciting. So has he? I missed the very front of it. Did you talk at all about the new moon?
I didn't. I'm saving all that for you.
Okay, so for those of you that haven't really been aware, we are going to have a new moon day after tomorrow here in the states or in our hemisphere, and that means we're going to have a stellium, which is three or more planets. Actually, we're going to have four in one sign or one house. And that means we're going to have the sun and the moon making a new moon. But we're also going to have Mercury, which is now in retrograde. And we're going to have Mars. So there's going to be a lot of air and a lot of the air element and a lot of communication and balancing and how to communicate all of that and how to take action on all of that. And where we're going to start are new intentions. And so Libra wants to be balanced, wants to be in relationship and communicate with fairness. And there's some judgment there, but it's not judgment like, oh, you're so tacky, like critical judgment. It's judgment to lay everything out on the table and make the right decision. Okay.
So like
So,
a discernment.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Judgment to make sure that things are fair and equitable
Okay.
and that we have all the facts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Mercury is in retrograde now, and it's going to be at a square to Pluto, which is moving direct. It's going to do it the same day as the full moon.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's going to be very interesting, right? Pluto is the planet of transformation, the planet of alchemy.
Okay.
So this is very, Michelle using her intuition as to what to talk about. It
I
happens.
had no idea.
She gives me a subject. I'm like, well, this is a good time for that every single time. And so this is a great time to think about turning around the conversations or transforming the conversations, because Mercury is our intellect, or our thoughts or our ideas to a higher frequency.
Okay.
Okay. In addition to that, on Saturday the 10th, on the 10th, Saturn is going to move direct. It wasn't 10th the day that you were going to start your
Yes.
program,
Yes.
right? So that's really good because that's going to add a lot of structure to what you've done. I think it's going to give you some good bones to start with. It's really
Excellent.
good that you picked that day. And then on the 17th, Jupiter's going to move direct. So October is a really busy month, and I probably left out a few things, but we're here to really talk about alchemy. And so in astrology, the way we use alchemy, or the way we think, okay, how are we going to turn this from the ordinary to the extraordinary? You think about, okay, what's the tools that I'm working with in really your whole chart? But if we're going to break it down to just the basics, we're going to look at our sun, moon, and rising signs. If you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising signs are, then you can email me and I'll send you a chart and send you a broken down your sun, moon, rising. I would need your birth date, where you were born, and the exact time, AM or PM. And you can send that to sally@activatedastrology.com, and I'll get it to you within the next few days. Okay, so when we're looking at alchemy and how to really use our innate powers to turn things around, we're going to look at the simplest thing in the chart. We're going to look at the sun, moon, and rising. We call that the Trinity, really. And we're going to look at the elements and what we call the modes.
Okay.
Okay. So in astrology, the elements are going to be fire, earth, air, and water. Okay. Fire is going to give us our initiation, our action. Okay. Earth is our practicality, our just mundane things that we have to do every day to get along. It's our grounding. It's earth. It's Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. Air is our intellect. It's our ideas, our intelligence, our communication, the way we even move things around. Okay. And then water, which is our emotional body. It's our intuition. So those are the four elements that we look at. And then we look at the modes. Is that sign in a cardinal mode, meaning you're going to lead, you're going to be the first one there, you're going to be the one to initiate something, start something, be a leader? Is it in a fixed mode? Meaning, is it going to stand still and be stable for the rest of the energies that are around, kind of hold the fort in place, the pillars, if you will, or the foundation? Or is it water? Is it going to adjust and move and flow? Is it going to use the intuitive sense and all the mysticism and things, right? That you can. It's all what it's something that is not easy to put your finger on, but it exists. Okay. So we're going to go through all 12 of the zodiac signs here in the Western astrology, which is what I practice. We have 12 signs. In Vedic or Yoidish, it would be 11 signs. I'm sorry, 13 signs. But here in Western astrology, we do 12. So that's what we're going to do tonight.
Perfect.
So let's start off with the first sign, which is Aries, cardinal fire. So your power is going to be in your ability to initiate. You really are the initiator if you're an Aries. If you have an Aries sun, moon, or rising. Okay,
so this is Aries in any of those positions.
Yeah. Let's talk about what the sun is first. The sun is the I am. It's your innate DNA. It's how you landed here. It's your personality, your physical prowess. It's boom. That's where we get like the horoscope readings, things like that. Your rising sign is going to be two different ways I explain it. One is going to be your the mask you put on for people, the way you present. Sometimes you're not even aware that you're presenting yourself that way. Okay. And the other way would be the esoteric side. And that means that's kind of the portal to this lifetime. So it's really your soul's agenda, if you will. So if you work on your shadow side of your rising sign, then you will have risen to be where you needed to be. Okay. So you can look at it either way you want, whatever makes more sense to you. But it's all going to wind up kind of meaning the same eventually. And then the moon is your emotional body. So that's how we feel. That's what we stress about and how we process that stress. Not just stress. It could be how we feel joy, how we feel any emotion. That's going to be the moon, where your moon is. Okay. So those are the three signs. So if your moon is in Aries, or your rising is in Aries, or your sun is in Aries, you can take it to I am the initiator. I am I look like I present like an initiator, or my soul initiates. Or if it's your moon, I feel like I initiate.
Okay.
Or I feel better when I initiate. Or I stress when I don't initiate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's cardinal fire. Your power stems from the ability to initiate and take action. So the initiating is the mode. That's the cardinal. Taking action is the fire element. Alchemy for you really requires that you take initiation and push toward whatever your goal is. So you can't just sit by and meditate your way through it. You have to take action in order to have something turn around, turn something into something extraordinary. You ignite and then you liberate. That's fire. Okay. And you do this with yourself, and then nobody can really hold you back from your purpose, which is that cardinal energy of leading. You're the point person. Okay.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Good. Okay.
Perfect.
So good. So Taurus is a fixed mode, and it's an earth sign. And your power comes through being stable and patient and constant for a long period of time. They say that, you hear often that Tauruses are stubborn. No, they're actually being the alchemists. They're doing their part. They're doing their part in this world to hold the fort down
Yeah. Yeah.
and to alchemize, turn something really great
Yes.
into they're doing their purpose. So really, they connect to their five senses. They're very sensual. They're five senses, right? And then they stay grounded. That's the earth. That's the earth sign. And fixed, also fixed, right? You stay
Yeah.
grounded, stay put. And particularly in the practical things, like where there is value, um, talents, resources, money, things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. And guys, we want to hear from you. So when Sally talks about your sign, either your sun, moon, or rising, let us know if it resonates with you or if you can see how that can help you be the alchemist this season.
Absolutely. Or if you have any questions at all
Yeah.
about any of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we're getting into Gemini. Gemini is going to be mutable air. Remember, mutable kind of goes with the flow, and air is your intellect. So Gemini's power kind of manifests itself by with the ability to go with that flow and to self-adjust how they communicate,
Okay.
because they're very talkative, because they're ruled by Mercury, which I'm getting into more astrology than we really, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, because I can go down the rabbit hole real quick with this.
And it is fun, but we could be here all night.
I mean, it seriously, you can go, boy, I can take a nosedive and you'll have to reel me back in. So it's how you communicate, particularly about anything that is changing.
Ooh.
Let me give you an example. I have a very good friend. I'm a Gemini moon. Okay. She is a Gemini, just in all sense of the word. She's a Gemini with a Sagittarius rising, but she's a very strong Gemini. She's very, very, very intelligent. She's very, very, very talkative. She and I have very different opinions about something, about a hot subject. And I'm not even going to talk about what the subject is, about a hot subject that everyone in this room has heard about. And she is very passionate about that. And I'm very passionate about it, but I keep quiet about it because I don't want the emotional stuff to come in. So I don't talk about that, particularly with her, because we don't agree. But she is a master at turning around a subject if she wants, and getting someone to either swing someone in her direction, or to turn the situation to where, okay, now I'm not mad, hot, fevered about it, because she has that ability to change people's minds and to shift with the sands when you're communicating. A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good at it. She's a master. She's really a master. So a Gemini's power is really in conversation and how to improvise and use their intelligence. That's the way they achieve their aspirations. Okay.
So, because they're air,
Mm-hmm.
but ruled by Mercury, so that's communication.
Right. They're mutable. It's a mutable
Okay.
mode. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So that's the reason why it kind of shows up as communication with them.
Okay.
They are kind of the great communicator. They're very talkative, very inquisitive, very, very curious. So it would make sense.
Yes.
And most air sign, all air signs are kind of, they're all kind of genius, and that's where we get our smarts.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that, now, if you don't have any air in your chart, that does not mean you are not intelligent. Just saying, that doesn't mean that. But if you have a lot of air in your chart, that means you're probably extremely intelligent. Just saying.
And a little airheady too. Come on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Good job. That was really good. Okay. So next we're going to come to cardinal, which is cardinal water. So alchemy, I think this, I really had to think about this one and I had to look up some things. But alchemy starts with Cancer a little bit differently. It's a cardinal energy, meaning they're the first of the water signs. They're the strongest of the water signs in leading,
Okay.
and getting there first. So they're going to be the ones that are going to stand out and be the most strong personality, most likely, in an outward way.
Okay.
Their emotional process, or Cancer's emotional process, is extremely important, and they are very intuitive. So
Mm-hmm.
using their intuitive ability, which is very strong. And another thing is Cancer is the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're a guy Cancer, you still have that part of you.
Yes.
They are the giver of life.
Oh.
Okay. So in order to tap into their full potential, they kind of need to give birth to an idea or birth to and actually giving birth is pretty cardinal, right? Because you're sending something out there on its own the first time. It's the cardinal energy. Giving birth to a situation that allows you to nurture them, which is very water-like,
Mm-hmm.
right? So nurturing people and giving birth to ideas, that's how they're going to be the alchemist.
Okay.
Let's just say, take something practical. Like, I have a great Cancer friend who bakes. She bakes cakes.
Mm.
And she's all Cancers are very domestic. They are the ruler of the house, the house over your head, the roof over
Yeah.
your head. She would be the person that would come up with the perfect idea for the theme cake to get the bride to stop crying because she can't, get what she wants. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And
Yep.
by that, she's nurturing her.
Yep.
And I'm showing that in the smallest little insignificant way that I can think of. But that is a perfect example of where a Cancer would come up and give birth to an idea, to a theme, to, make everybody feel better and feel that they're loved.
Yes. I love that.
Okay. Okay. Leo is a fixed fire. So Leo's keyword is I will. So above everything, they have to persevere and show that strong will. And they also have to take action because it's a fire
Okay.
sign. So they're going to stay fixed by persevering through tough times
Mm-hmm.
and uncomfortable times and times when they didn't get the accolades that they thought they were going to get. And they have to take action to do that because it's a fire sign, or they have to take action to in something. They're going to be called not to just sit and wait for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Very much like Aries has to do. Okay. So they can become like famous and, and respected as long as they can stay. And this is very hard for Leo, to stay steady and to stay focused. It's really more
Because of all
about,
that fire,
yes,
right? Because fire is
yes,
hard.
exactly.
We need
You're
fire to
getting,
focus, but too much
yes,
and it's scattered.
exactly. So it's a balance. It's really a balance. Thank you. That was perfectly put. Very creative. So they have to stay steady in that creative force that they've got. Whether it's acting, drama, music, writing, whatever their jam is, they need to stay steady and persevere, even when they're not getting the accolades. And through that, as long as they keep the goal of, it's not about me, it's about everyone, because,
Oh, yeah.
we can get really egotistical. I'm a Leo. I can say that you can get egotistical and think, oh, well, it's all about me. It's all about me. Well, it's not really. It's all about all of us. It can be, but, at the end of it all, we all have to do well for one of us to do well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, all right. So then we
I want to
have,
just say that
uh-huh.
Denise says she's a Cancer moon. Nurturing really resonates. That is part of how I teach my classes. And
I
that
bet you
totally
she's a
makes
great
sense.
teacher.
Yeah.
Education is very important.
Yeah. And Denise is very nurturing.
Mhm.
She's also a Leo sun. I will
Well,
resonates. I'm very much a doer. Yeah. I
yeah.
love this, right? Because what I love about talking about this is instead of just looking at the sun sign, but bringing all three aspects in, is that we get a more well-rounded understanding, right? For the whole person, rather than it's
Yes.
not just one thing. I mean, the first time I heard you talk about that, it's like, oh, well, no wonder when I read stuff about Libra, it doesn't always resonate because I need to bring in my moon, I need to bring in my rising, all that. And then it's like, oh, there I am.
And
You know,
then you blend it in,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
then there's so much other stuff too, the aspects, like, what else is it connected to?
yes,
So you're
yes,
so much more than just your horoscope, your chart, your sun.
yes, yes.
And once you start diving into it, it's remarkable how much you can change and transform
Did we all
and
freeze? Oh,
become.
there's Sally. You froze for a
Oh,
second.
okay. I was just saying, once you get into it, it's a remarkable how quick and how fast that transformation comes.
Yes.
And you get the ability to turn it around for yourself,
And you
and to
really can go
understand
from the
why.
ordinary to the extraordinary.
Yeah, and to really understand why you've been doing this way all this time.
Yeah, you really see your patterns and
Absolutely.
understand them, not just really have compassion for yourself also,
Yes.
not just annoyance, right?
Yes, yes. Yes, and I have been annoyed with myself for such a huge part of my life.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, so it's like hugging yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Virgo, one of the ones, just as we get ready to talk about people being hard on themselves, we're going to talk a little bit about Virgo, because Virgo definitely hard on themselves. Definitely, because they are they're the ones that have the critical eye. They're put here as quality control. So it's a
Okay.
mutable earth energy, very practical energy, but they adjust as they need to because they have something to accomplish. Like if they see that this conveyor belt is going along fine, but this conveyor belt over here is throwing out a bunch of inferior product, they're going to switch from this conveyor belt to go and clean up this conveyor belt so that everything gets straightened up.
Okay. Yeah.
So you switch from this part of your life to this part of your life, or from this child's life to that part child's life, or from that job to that job,
So
wherever the cleanup.
flexibility,
Yes, wherever that
flexible
needs to be done.
quality control. I love
Yes,
that.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So they're very practical. So their power comes from the ability to discern, to fix, and to adjust accordingly to
You're
situations
very
that will make life more efficient, practical, and more effective. That's it. So their critical eye, so the mutable energy comes in with adjusting, right? And then make it so that they can adjusting so they can make things practical and effective. It comes in for the earth. There's the earth element.
here. Can you
Are we frozen? Did we lose? Am I lost? Not sure what's going on. I don't see Michelle. I'm not sure if I'm lost or if she's lost. Okay, Carolyn, you have Virgo rising, and she can completely relate to the quality control. Okay, got it. I guess we're gonna get Michelle back here in a minute. Yep. Okay, so it's Michelle. I'll keep going so that we're not in a lag here. Hey, Dana, I see your son is a Cancer, and sun going into nursing, he's a Scorpio rising, but totally rejects all of the woo woo, which I don't understand that either. I don't know either. All right. So I'm good this time. All right. So I'm going to keep going. Thanks. So with that critical eye and that aptitude for organization and health big for Virgo, they should, so they need to, you need to use that toward helping humankind. Okay. Use it in service, because that's what you're about. So that's how you're going to be successful, is lead a service life, a life of service, cleaning up mess. I'm sorry. And the thing is that if you don't clean it up just perfectly, don't be too hard on yourself, because, that's kind of Virgo. Okay, now we're going to get to Libra. Libra is cardinal air. Here she comes.
Okay, here we.
I think I was okay, and I think you went out. Oh, she's gone again.
Oh, I'm back. Am I here now?
Yeah, you're here. We just kept going.
Excellent. What did I miss?
We talked about Virgo. So basically, we were just talking about their power comes from discernment, fixing, adjusting accordingly to situations that make life more efficient, practical, and effective. That's their earth. And they have their critical eye and aptitude, organization, and health should be used as service toward humankind, because, they're all about service. And they're very, 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 very smart. So now we're at Libra, which is the seventh sign. So we're halfway through here. So Libra is the cardinal air sign. So if they're cardinal, they've got to initiate something. And they have to communicate because they're air. But who are they going to communicate to? The Libra stuff, their partnerships, their relationships, their marriages. And what are they going to communicate about? Balance and compromise. They're going to be able to bring people together and to create judgment, decide, is this what needs to turn around, or is this what needs to turn around? Is this going to be extraordinary, or is this going to be extraordinary? So they master their relationships and justice if they initiate, which is the cardinal energy, and initiate conversations about about anything. Initiate conversations and with relationships with family, friends, whoever you need to. Initiate justice. But for the most, which is really difficult to stay out of it, is, they are the peacemakers, so they can be very diplomatic.
No.
Do you see a little charging thing next to it?
Are we good? We're good? Okay. All right. So now we're at Scorpio fixed water. Okay. Here, Scorpio, you are the alchemist. You have the least amount of trouble kind of getting this than anybody else. You are the alchemist. So your innate power springs from the ability to remain intensely engaged. So remaining is the fixed part, staying intensely engaged and passionate about about whatever you're passionate about. If you stay intuitive, because you have a very strong intuitive, that's the water, intuitive ability, with relationships, this could be friends, work relationships, marriages, whatever, you can be really successful. But here's the deal. You like to hold secrets of all kinds, whether anybody really cares about them or not. So you have to, and you like espionage and things like that. So you need to expose things that are not right, and you need to be willing to be exposed if you're not being right, to call it out. Like let's say, for instance, we're in a conversation about drug addiction, and you are talking to your child about the evils of drug addiction, but you were addicted at some point in your life. You have to be willing to let go of that secret and expose yourself, or be exposed, and let them learn from that lesson as to how to be, you have to be vulnerable a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult, particularly for a Scorpio, which likes to hold their cards very close to the vest. So this is how you also have to be willing to heal. So that would be kind of a good way. The example I just used, be willing to heal and be healed.
Okay.
Okay. And then you need to dive as deep as you have to go in order to really get to the fundamentals of why something is. That's the fixed part, particularly why something is the way it is, why something is so emotional for you, where those dark currents are coming up and stirring and creating problems for you. You have to expose that. That has to be unearthed. And also, it will help kind of motivate others to let them feel free talking about it. It's very difficult for Scorpios to give full disclosure. It's difficult for all of us to do that, honestly, but Scorpios have a little bit more trouble with it. Sagittarius, mutable fire. So remember, mutable is go with the flow, but we got fire. So this is the last of the fire signs. This is the 9th sign. So your power comes from the capacity to spread or to talk about, really just spread. I think, talk, communicate, even though it's fire. I'm going to say communicate. Philosophies. Take the word to the street. Your morals, your belief systems. That is one of your power. That's your power. So spreading the word would be mutable, right? Moving. And fire is going to be belief. You believe, think about an evangelist kind of thing. It's kind of dogma in a way. It can be, but belief. So if you engage you have this innate ability to be optimistic. So if you engage that and you use it for the good of all and for your highest and best, particularly where it relates to teaching, learning, and adjustable, remember adjusting because it's mutable, the negative attitudes and actions of others will be transformed, and yourself. We can't really transform others if we don't transform ourselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Capricorn, the 10th sign, cardinal earth. Very powerful. I think obviously all the cardinal signs are very powerful. We all have our strengths. Capricorn kind of gets a bad rap because they're too serious and they work too hard and yada, yada, yada. But if we didn't have them, golly, So,
amen.
Yeah. Their power comes from initiating, which is the cardinal, practical applications of all talents, all assets, and all resources, which is earth, all the practical stuff. So they kind of embody every other zodiac sign's business plan. Everything that if you're don't have a lot of Capricorn in you, which everybody has some Capricorn, but if you don't have a lot of Capricorn in you, don't worry. There's some Capricorn in there picking up the slack for you, I promise.
I love that.
Oh gosh, you embody the definition of goals. I mean, you are just goal oriented. That's that cardinal energy, and you put it to practice with all of the practical stuff. You know, being patient and being disciplined and being, that's keeping your nose to the grindstone. Okay, next we have Aquarius, the 11th sign. Fixed air. These are the genius. You're the genius. And your power is to remain stable and consistent. That's your fixed mode. With your interaction with your community and with friends. Okay? So you're kind of a pillar of the larger group, the larger picture. You're the one that kind of like gives the eclectic the place, the framework. The oddballs, the eclectics, you accept all walks. Okay? So your success will lie in cultivating anything that's innovative, future driven, any ideas, and you need to stand for the people and really use that revolutionary energy for everything, because you are you like to revolt against anything that anybody says. You're going to take the opposite side if it's not, they're not agreeing with you. That's your key word. I know, and you really do know. So just think out of the box all the time. Don't let somebody box you in, because you're not going to be happy. You really are going to turn something into an extraordinary thing. I firmly believe all the Aquarians are going to get together and completely take care of this climate control situation. It's going to take Aquarians to do that, and they're genius. And last but not least, we have the 12th sign, which is Pisces, which is mutable water. So yeah. So you derive your power from your capacity to improve lives in a different way, to improve lives and change them. So that's the mutable energy, change. And you do it by using your imagination, mysticism, and most of all, compassion. You're very compassionate. So these are the qualities that allow you to turn something from ordinary to extraordinary. You can create real success with your sensitivity to the emotional states of others. That's water. That's your element there. Through dreams, fantasies, music, and all of these things often kind of they really kind of serve as a tool to manifest your perfect life. The thing about Pisces is they're always kind of in two worlds. They're in this real 3D world, but they don't really feel like they belong completely here. So then they're also in this other world, and it can become escapism, or it can be a dream state, or it can be addiction, or it can be all different kinds of things, or it can just simply be you're in a different dimension. You have one foot in this world and one foot in another world. And people, sometimes Pisces have the most difficult time accepting that is normal for them. And that is, whatever normal is, but that is their state. That's the beauty of who they are. So when they accept that, that's when things get really good. Really, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my 2 cents.
Sally. That was such great information about everybody. And Eve wants to know, what's the difference between cardinal and mutable?
Okay, so there's three modes. Cardinal is the first of the signs. So we have 4 elements. Okay, so the first one, and we got 12 signs. So if you take 4 and you divide it into 3, then we got three elements. I mean 3 modes: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So cardinal is always going to be the first of the element. So in this case, and fixed would be the middle of the element, and then mutable would be the last of the element. So
Okay.
the first water cardinal sign is Cancer. The middle water sign is Scorpio. So Cancer is going to be in, late June, July.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the astrology New Year starts in April. Or it starts with Aries, starts in March. Okay. So we're going to start with the cardinal is going to be the first. Cardinal fire is going to be Aries, right? Then we have the fixed sign of Taurus. Then we have the mutable sign. It always goes like that: cardinal, fixed, mutable.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And then we have the cardinal sign of Cancer, which is the first water sign. And then we have fixed, mutable. Okay, so the Leo being fixed, Virgo being mutable. And then we have the cardinal Libra sign, Libra being cardinal, Scorpio being fixed, and then Sagittarius being thing. But the energy part of it, so it's a rotation deal, right? As you look at the signs and their placements. But the energy of it is cardinals are the first to be there. They're the ones to take charge. They're the strongest of that element. The fixed is going to be the one that the energy that stays put, holds the fort down, anchors down, sticks their post in the ground and holds on for dear life, right? Holds that energy, holds that situation. They're steady. And then the mutable are going to be the more easygoing. That's the more easygoing energy. It's the one that goes with the flow and the one that can adjust better and accept change easier.
Okay. Awesome. So
Okay.
I hope that helped. I hope that makes sense. And let's see, I just wanted to say, just put a couple comments up here. Karen says, I have a Virgo rising. I can completely relate to being quality control. Karen is so good at handling stuff. When we had our event in Denver, she just handled all the merch stuff. She was
wow.
so good. We were so grateful. And then let's see. Dana says, I love Virgo moons. They actually need to clean up and organize the house to feel good. Boy, I wish I had a Virgo moon.
Yeah, I've seen Dana's chart. I wish she'd come to my house.
Yeah. Dana, come on. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Dana.
Come a week here, a week at Sally's. We'll just move you around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it'll work for you. It'll work for you.
Yes. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm officially in the dark now.
Yeah.
If you guys could, I should be turned the other way so you can see all my beautiful lights. Let's see. Can you guys see?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But anyway, so thank you all for being here. We love and appreciate you. And sorry for the tech issues and the random sounds that you could hear. I thought I was outside, safe from band practice, but apparently not. So anyway, that makes it just fun, and we just go with the flow. That's all you can do, right?
There we go.
But thank you all. And so I just want to remind everybody, if you we're in the time right now is the veil is very thin, right? And what I love about this time to do readings, so this is a great time to get your intuitive readings, your mediumship readings, your astro readings, whatever you want, because the veil is thin not only for the person doing the reading, but the person being read. We're all more open. Okay, so if you want some readings, let us know. You can reach me at michellesnelling.com. If you have a question, Michelle at michellesnelling.com. You can reach Sally at activatedastrology.com, or at the Ascension School of Spirituality. And Sally, do you want to let everybody know what you've got going on?
Well, I am in the middle of my beginners 101 class. So that's for really big really, just starting. I'll be starting the 102 class in January. And so look at the Ascension School of Spirituality for that. The Ascension School also has, I don't know if we have any Reiki 1, 2, or Reiki Masters here, but they're getting ready to start a really nice course for Holy Fire Reiki. So it's a great way to upgrade. It's a really nice little something. So if you know anybody that's into Reiki that would like to get a certification in Holy Fire Reiki, you can go to the Ascension School of Spirituality.com, or you can just contact me at Sally at activatedastrology.com, and I'll hook you up, send you the link so you can learn more about that.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Sally. And you guys know me, I'm Michelle Snelling. And what I have going on right now is this is my birthday month because I'm a Libra.
That's right.
And so I always take this whole month and celebrate with all of you because that's what I love to do. I love to share and bring beauty and love. So doing all sorts of things. Right now, I've got a promotion going on that if you go to my website and you join my email list, if you're not already on there, join it. You have to, opt in with the second email. With the email you'll get to opt in. Once you do that, you'll get another email that'll have a code for a surprise for you guys to save on my website on anything you want. And that's going on right now. I'm also going to be having a subscribe to my YouTube channel contest. I'm going to be doing a big giveaway with that. I'm going to be doing lots of stuff. So if you're not on my email list, you want to be, because that's where you find out all the fun stuff that I'm doing. Social media is so iffy anymore. It was down all day today, Facebook and Instagram. So, we can't really rely on that. So we really need to stay connected through our emails if we can. So I love to do that. So come get on my email list and get your present from me. I appreciate it. And then I've got my grown-up timeout fall starting on the 10th, which I love that I picked that day, Sally, because it just
I know.
I was just like, what day do I need to start? And it was like October 10th. Okay, we're going to do the 10th. So I love that. But join with that link I gave you guys in the comments. And if you join tonight, you'll get your personalized, your intuitively chosen product just for you. I'm also at the end of the month, the 29th, 30th, and the 31st of October, I'm in the Quantum Feminine workshop. I don't know, summit. I think it's the summit that Lisa Gunshore, the Buddhist biohacker, is doing this year rather than her One Heart, One Earth typical, the summit that she's been doing. She's doing this, the Quantum Feminine. And let me tell you guys, it's ridiculous. So it's free and you want to sign up for it because it is going to be 3 days of absolute magic and alchemy. And I'm so excited to be a part of that. So that's what's going on with me right now. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And if you need anything, let me know. And I will be back Monday, the 11th, with Delisa Hawking. We're going to be talking about what it's like to be a fifth generation psychic medium. So I can't wait.
Wow.
Conversation. I know. Can't imagine.
That's crazy.
So,
that's exciting.
It is. So I will be, we will be doing that at 1 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Monday, the 11th. So thank you all. Have a beautiful week.
One minute before you get started, can you post your YouTube link one more time?
You mean
I'm looking for it, but I'm not finding it. I know it was here.
You mean the link for the grown-up?
Oh, there it is. I got it. Yeah, got it. Never mind. I got it. Got it.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure somebody else might want it, but
thank you, Sally. I appreciate it. All right. So love you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your evening.